Hi guys, today we're watching Actually Happened. She had and the title is I had a fake boyfriend, but my friends found it out. So guys, leave a comment down below if you love Actually Happened. This is a story of what happened to him while she's a child. So let's watch it. And this is the story, guys. And give us a thumbs up, please. And subscribe if you want more videos. Okay, let's go.
Hi, I'm Lily, and I must confess, I was living a lie for several months. By the time I turned 16, all of my friends already had boyfriends. This was all they talked about.
I don't have a boyfriend. Do you? Leave a comment down below.
Boyfriend this and boyfriend that. Blah, blah, blah. I was the only one without a boyfriend, and they sometimes made fun of me for that, and I felt like a
Blah, blah, blah. Boyfriends are awful. When I'm 20, I'm gonna get a boyfriend. Not in high school.
total loser compared to them. One day they asked me, "Hey Lily, you still don't have a boyfriend?" And I did something very stupid. I should have said, "No, I don't." But instead I said, "Yeah, I do. He's great." That was a big mistake because they immediately started to ask questions. What's his name? What's he like? Is he cute? I had to improvise, so I came up with an answer on the spot. It was like, Dan? He is very nice. He's into, hockey. God, it was so embarrassing. But suddenly, they all changed their attitude towards me. They stopped mocking me and acting like I was the worst girl of the group. Finally! During the next day, when they started discussing their boyfriends again, I realized that they would eventually ask me about Dan as well. So I had to lie again.
Lie.
Tell how me and Dan went to a concert. And of course they asked me, what concert? And 1,000 more questions. After this, I started to plan everything in advance, like where me and Dan were the previous evening, what he was like, and how our relationship was progressing. In a weird way, Dan felt like a real person. Soon, just telling about Dan wasn't enough. My friends asked to show his photos, messages, and stuff like that. So I had to find pictures of some cute guy online to make social media profiles. Of course, I made all accounts private so they couldn't check his profile. I spent a lot of time writing messages to myself from Dan to make him seem real. At some point, girls even got a little bit jealous because Dan was so much better than their boyfriends. They were saying, "I wish my boyfriend were a bit more like Dan." Of course, because there was no Dan. Next, they started to ask, "How come you don't have any pictures together with Dan?" So, guess what I had to do? If you guessed Photoshop pictures of me and Dan together, then you were right. I spent hours and hours trying to learn Photoshop just to make believable photos of me and Dan. When my friends were going somewhere to hang out, I had to decline because I was with Dan, when in reality, I was trying to make those stupid fake photos. Even photos weren't enough at some point. I guess they were suspicious, so they asked why they had never seen Dan. I had to...
Guys, please don't ever copy him. Fake boyfriends are awful. If they find it out, they're gonna bully you again. You just tell the truth, guys. Like, sorry, I don't have any boyfriends. Or, don't laugh at me. I want to have boyfriend in 16, 20. That's what my parents do. Just tell the truth, guys.
Lie something about him living far away, so it was tricky for us to see each other. But they knew something was wrong because before I had been telling them how we were meeting every day. It had to stop. I couldn't tell them the truth. Instead, I started to plan our breakup. But what could my perfect Dan do that would lead to a breakup? After thoroughly thinking through the options, I chose that Dan cheated on me with another girl. I hoped that this would not only end my endless lies, but also make girls feel sorry for me. Next day, I told girls my sob story about how Dan was secretly dating another girl all this time, and that was why he was so perfect all the time. He was feeling guilty. I expected girls to comfort me, but instead, they started to laugh. Turned out, they knew I was lying for a few weeks already. They noticed I was logged in on Dan's Facebook, but decided to keep silent to see how far I would go. I was so embarrassed that I went away and tried to keep out of their sight for a few days. After some time, I apologized for lying and asked if we could still be friends.
Don't lie.
They said yes, but of course, now they were making fun of...
Don't lie, guys. Don't lie. Please. Lying is horrible. Okay? If you lie, it will go wrong. Just tell the truth. If you're a good girl or a boy, just tell the truth. Okay?
me and Dan every day. I would never lie to my friends again. The worst part about this situation is that I could have spent this time searching for an actual boyfriend instead of spending hours on an imaginary one. If there is something good about it, I guess that now I'm pretty good at Photoshop. Please share this story to avoid other girls creating fake boyfriends and embarrassing themselves. Hi,
So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, oh, I already said that. Okay, so guys, please, did you enjoy this video? Don't lie to other people. It will go wrong. So that's our moral lesson today. So hope you guys enjoy this video. Bye guys.